If you're looking to cruise on Ruby Princess in Alaska, then this ship tour is for you. Hi, it's Linz from Sweet Natured. As always, I'm joined by Marky.
Hello.
Hello, who put the video together. So yes, Ruby Princess in Alaska. Let's have a good look round and see what we can see.
Well, it's ship tour time, Linz.
Yes.
As you said, we filmed this while we're on Ruby Princess while she was in Alaska.
Uh-huh.
And I think we were in Ketchikan this day.
I think we might have been.
Anyway, we might spot it as we're walking around.
Uh-huh.
But we're starting off right at the very, very top of the ship.
Yes.
Up on deck 19.
Mm-hmm.
With the little mini golf that's up here.
We never did this.
I can't believe we never played.
I mean, we love a mini golf and we never did it. Is it because of the weather, do we think?
No, because we only had sort of like one really wet day and one coldish day.
Mm-hmm.
But we had a couple of days that were warm. One of them was so warm we ended up getting sunburn.
Well, that is true.
So it was definitely warm enough to play mini golf.
I wonder why we didn't do it then.
I think we were too busy having cocktails.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And I might have suggested at one point, whilst having a cocktail, and you would have said something along the lines of, should we not just go to crooners or get in that hot tub below instead?
Maybe.
Sounds more like you, doesn't it? But apart from this time when I went up here, I did go up here a couple of times, and each time I went up, there were either people playing mini golf.
Yes.
Because we did have some families on. Mm-hmm. Not that many, because it wasn't sort of in the school holiday season quite yet in the US and in Canada. But there were either people playing mini golf or playing the shuffleboardy game at the side. I never remember the proper name of that.
No.
But it's a lovely space up here, even if you're not planning on playing.
Yeah.
If the weather's nice, and we are in Ketchikan here, you can go have a look over, and you got obviously fantastic views because you're right at the top of the ship.
Yeah, it's very nice. I'm really sad that we didn't get to play now.
It looks a really good little mini golf, doesn't it?
Little is the...
Yeah, it's a small one.
Yeah.
But it's free.
Yeah, we like that.
Because, unlike some other cruise lines at the moment who've started charging for mini golf.
Yes.
This one isn't. But you're right at the side of the sports court. Mm-hmm. And every time I came up here, and this was included on this one as well, there were people playing predominantly pickleball.
People love pickleball.
Every ship we go on.
Yeah.
Pickleball at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, people just love it.
When did it become such a massive craze?
I don't know. I think about 18 months ago, but we've still not played it. Maybe if we did it, then we would see...
End the craze.
Yeah, probably, knowing me.
Or people would be sort of figuring it out. That's the lift up to deck 19.
Yes.
We touch on that in your ship tour.
In my
your
practical ship tips, yes.
So if you've not seen that, there will be a link to it down below. Go have a look because there's some really useful tips for sort of getting around this ship, but in particular, this one where, as you're going to see in a second, not that accessible if you struggle with
mobility,
steps.
Yeah.
Because you're up on the top and you've got 3 flights to get down.
Yeah.
Plus it's kind of stuck right at the back anyway.
Yeah.
So not an easy place to get to.
Mm-hmm.
The good thing about it, you'll see here, as you're coming up on each deck, there's these massive wide spaces. So when you go into places like Endicott Arm and Dawes Glacier, or any of the other glaciers that you might be going to see, it's another great viewing platform.
Yes.
Because people very rarely go stand there. They'll go down to the front of the ship, where we touch on that in your ship tips, which great viewing platform.
Yeah.
But at the back, on deck 19, halfway down them, tend to just not bother as much.
And we did see people having pictures taken there because, of course, you had quite a wide open backdrop for photos. So that's, something to consider as well, that if you want something like that that's a little bit special, or you want somewhere where you're in formal gear and you want to have a nice outside shot, then...
That'd be a great one, as long as you're not sort of seeing it being overly windy at that point.
No.
I know when we were walking around one time, in fact, when we were filming your ship tips, we walked on that top bit and it was blowing absolute gale at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was hard to walk in it, so you definitely wouldn't have wanted to do that.
Yeah.
It does have quite a decent size kids club area.
Okay.
As we were just walking through there, and it covers everything from sort of the very, very young, as we touched on there, up to your late teens.
Yeah.
So, and it seemed popular every time, again, when we went in port, every time I came past there, there were kids in all of the different sections of it.
Yeah.
To say it's not a summer holiday
No.
or Easter at this point, then it's not too bad. We're up on deck 18 here.
Yes.
Skywalker Nightclub.
Oh, Skywalkers.
I love the name.
Well, you would, because you're quite nerdy.
No, everyone likes Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. Now, this was because it was quite high up
And tucked away.
and tucked away. It was very quiet during the day, as you can see here. And what people tended to do was hang out mainly in the atrium if they were reading a book or doing some crafting, needlework kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think this is better. You'd have to bring a drink with you, but I think for some quiet space and some quiet time with a book, this is much better.
Well, you can see here, all right, we're in port, so that's not the best example of it. But we came up here a couple of times during the day when we weren't in port.
Yeah.
And it were never much busier than this. Where there were like 2 or 3 people sat in there,
Yeah.
and they said they were reading a book, maybe doing a jigsaw, playing a game.
Yeah.
But it was always a very quiet thing. On our particular cruise, and this could be an Alaska thing as opposed to a Ruby Princess,
Yes.
it never got really busy even
No.
when the nightclub were open, because it didn't open until about 10 o'clock.
It was 10 o'clock that it opened, and then they had a DJ playing themed evenings. So
It just never got busy, did it?
no. But again, because people are so busy during the day in Alaska, and
You tend not to find
Yeah.
that much going on late into the
no,
evening.
because everybody's absolutely shattered.
So it might be that when Ruby Princess is in slightly warmer climates
It's busier.
outside of the Alaska
Yeah.
season, that it's a much busier place. But
Yeah.
certainly if you're going to Alaska, great place to go, just chill out and hang out.
Yeah.
And if there is a big disco on one night, maybe it's busy, you just want on our particular one. So going back down again now, sort of past the kids club and back outside, as you'll have just noticed as we went past it there, the children's club on these is divided into quite a few different categories.
Age ranges.
Yeah, I think there were
Yeah.
4 different clubs, if I remember right.
Okay.
Again, because we don't have sort of a child with us of those sort of ages.
Yeah.
We don't really get to see them, but
No.
they did seem popular.
Yes.
Just harping back to what I talked about earlier for that accessibility, you can see how many steps we've still had to go
Yes.
down to get out, and we're still not near the main pool deck. So it's also a good reason why those other areas are maybe not as busy.
Yeah.
Now, Skywalkers you can get to from inside.
Yes.
It's a lot easier to get to,
Yeah.
unlike deck 19 where there's only that one single lift.
Yeah.
What did you think of the outside space on here?
I was surprised for it being an Alaska ship that there was. I mean, I'm looking at it now because people all went to the front of the ship, didn't we, when we were cruising in to Endicott Arm?
Yeah.
But I didn't see what it was like here, in respect of, because they're all set up for sunbathing there. There was one day that you could sunbathe.
Yeah. There were plenty of other days where you could sit out. You were just a little bit more wrapped.
You had to be wrapped up, yeah. So yeah, it surprised me the amount of outside
Sun lounges.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't surprise me about the amount of outside space because we'd watched videos about it anyway, so
Yeah.
I'd seen it. And it's the same class of ship and pretty very similar design to P&O Ventura,
Yes.
which we've been on. And so we were kind of used to it. There's little bits that are tweaked, there's little bits that are near identical. But I expected a lot of this space to be just pretty much clear, that there won't be as many sunbeds out.
Yes.
So even though we technically went in summer
Yeah.
at the start of June,
Yeah.
obviously it's still Alaska, so you're not going to get that consistent level of heat that you would do in, say, the Caribbean in summer.
No,
or Caribbean at any time.
The pool there was never open, was it? They looked to be repairing it there.
Oh, was that when they were repairing it?
Yeah.
As I just walked past, I didn't notice. I was sort of looking at you as I walked past. But yeah, it were closed the whole time, and we couldn't figure out why. Because that technically is the main pool,
Well, it's the
albeit there's another one that's virtually the same.
It's the adults' pool, isn't it? That one.
And it wasn't open once, and we're like, because on the first day we thought it was just because it was a bit rough at sea,
Yeah.
and it had been drained, because all of the pools had been
Yeah.
that first day, whereas when I saw them repairing it as I'd walked past, it was clear that it was never going to be open
No.
while we were on there.
No.
So I'm assuming that it will now be open.
And there was an issue.
Because they were retiling and doing various stuff in there.
Yeah.
And then they just had to sort of let it dry. I came up here and look how many sunbeds there are.
Oh my goodness.
Obviously, I originally planned on walking around to the other side of it to drop down there.
Yeah.
I get round here.
And then realise.
And I'm like, this is getting narrow. Nope, this is now a dead end. But we've already talked about how many sunbeds there are everywhere.
Yeah.
Where were they putting all these ones?
I don't know.
Because I never walked around it and thought, oh, there's lots more empty space where if obviously all this bit below didn't have anything, you could figure out where they're going. But look, it's already packed with sunbeds. So I guess you can get like a few more in there, but not that many that's at the back.
No, not at all.
Because when we first got on, we got a drink at the bar directly below.
Which was very busy.
And you got what drink?
I got a 24-carat gold margarita.
You did. And then a couple of other bits. Then we filmed our room tour.
We did.
Which was not necessarily the best idea.
Uh-huh.
But we then came and sat up here, which is where we're going to with that particular story. And it was lovely. I just sit up there and have a drink, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And just sit back and chill. But it wasn't anywhere, even on the sunny day, that we saw as being busy. And I think that was in particular because that pool was empty. Mm-hmm. So people were gathered around the next pool that we'll see in a minute, or the wake one.
Yeah.
Much more because they had water in. And that affected where people were sitting as well. What were interesting when we went on Cruise Out Day, I'm sure you recall this because it's not that long ago, they did the, what's it called, Sail Away Party.
Yes.
And the Sail Away Party was done, was it in this bit?
Yes,
Is this the bit with the screen here?
Yeah.
So we've done it in here. When we came through and, because there were people sort of all up on top on there, and it was absolutely rammed, wasn't it?
We're very busy, yeah.
But when you went through into that next area, which we just went in where the pool were empty, it was so quiet from a noise volume.
You didn't feel it was the same shape.
No. Because in here, it were loud, it were a party, there were a band going on, there were speakers everywhere, it were really loud. But even though there's not loads of obvious sort of soundproofing, you could hardly hear anything at all, could you?
No.
Which, I guess from, say, adults pool to main family pool, when that other one is open, you're not going to hear sort of as much loud noise, maybe from children at summer holidays, that you might do on maybe other ships.
Maybe.
Don't know. I was just surprised as to how well it sort of diffused the sound.
Yeah.
Now, when we come up here, this is where I assume most of the sunbeds would have been.
Oh, where they'd lay them out. Yeah, I'm going to say.
But there are other ones here as well, look.
All the sunbeds.
And also it meant that they had to carry them quite a long way back to that other spot.
Yeah.
But there are other ones in here, but they didn't set this up for anything. So all the time we were on there, this space were never used, which is a big amount of space. But we're heading into the sanctuary now.
Oh, I've not seen it.
You never went in, did you?
No, because it wasn't really a sanctuary kind of destination, I felt.
No. I don't recall ever seeing anyone in it, but we didn't come up here that often.
No.
Well, you never came up. I came up when I was checking something else, and there were no one in at that point. So the sanctuary on here, unlike now with Sun Princess and Star Princess, which are in their own sort of stateroom class, anyone compared to going here. And I mean, you'll see in a second. I'll be interested to get your thought on it. I thought it looked really plush compared to what is it the retreat on?
Yes.
P&O.
Yeah.
Which you'll be able to see that on our P&O Ventura ship tour to compare them. But I thought this looked much plusher.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen people actually book the sanctuary for going scenic cruising, but because of the weather, we didn't do that. As it was, if we had booked it, it would have been lovely. But because of the shades and the glass, I don't feel you would have felt as immersed in the glacier cruising as you would be as you are in here, because
you mean for when we went into the glacier?
Yeah.
No, because we had an unobstructed view of it. There were no glass in the way.
No glass, no, and I could see cruising into here for some scenic cruising would be lovely, but I felt more in it where we were stood.
I mean, it'll be interesting. If you've been on Ruby Princess and you've been to Alaska and been in the scenic cruise, if you did that from in here, let us know in the comments as
If
to
you enjoyed it,
if you enjoyed it.
and would you do it again?
Yeah. I think it's a lovely one. And the pool below is also for the sanctuary as well. Whereas on Ventura, that one's open 21.
Oh, was this pool and hot tub's not up?
Apparently not.
Really?
No. Well, you could kind of see the guy as I walked past, and I'd asked him, is that pool below just for sanctuary? And he said yes.
Right.
Now, it does say sanctuary pool when I go down here in a second.
Yeah.
And if you look at the beds...
Oh, they're all quite plush as well, aren't
Yeah,
they?
so it does kind of look like that. Which, if it is, that's a big plus for going in there.
Because you've got your you've got your hot
Two
tubs
hot
there.
tubs
But you've
and
got
a
no
pool.
view.
No, but it's still a private pool, which, if you're going on it at a busy time of the year,
Yes.
the school holidays in particular, then this would be a nice place to
Did you feel the water?
go like... No,
Okay.
I didn't, so I can't report water temperature to you.
Okay.
But I can report it in the other pools, because I did check both the Wake one and the other pool at different points during there, and they were all heated.
Yeah, but what are we calling heated?
Well, not as warm as a hot tub, obviously.
No, but warm?
Yeah. Warmer than any other pool that we've been in on a cruise ship that I can think of.
Okay.
Because they're putting them in because of an expectation that the weather's a bit cooler.
Yeah.
So they're not hot, but they're lukewarm, let's go with that.
Yeah.
And it does sound their sanctuary pool as well.
Pool, yeah. That's interesting that's included, because that may, I mean, saying that, there was nobody about, and if you would have booked it, if we would have booked it for the Glacier Day, it would have been lousy.
Yeah, it would. Anyway, you can get through from there straight into the gym. There is obviously different routes into the gym, which you'll see in here. And it's a big old gym.
It is, isn't it?
And it keeps going a long way. And the sort of fitness class areas as well. I didn't remember it being this big on P&O Ventura.
No.
It probably was, because I think
remember.
it's in the same spot.
Yeah.
If I'd have been very professional at my job,
You
maybe
could
I'd have
do
gone
a
and watched that
split screen.
first. Well, I wasn't thinking about going split screen on it.
Okay.
But I mean, I might have checked it before recording this, just to sort of remind myself. But
yeah.
I didn't think about it until about
Just now.
10 seconds ago.
Yeah.
But lots of free weights, lots of machines. It was busy as any other gym on any other cruise ship in the middle of the cruise.
Yeah.
Always busy at the start of the holiday, getting progressively less busy as you go through it.
Yes.
And people find that eating or going to one of the bars is a better option. Spa is a biggish area. It does have its little thermal area as well.
Yeah.
But there were people in there at the time that I went, so unfortunately I couldn't do the tour in there. But if you'd like to see that, do just watch the P&O Ventura one, because apparently it's very, very similar.
Yeah, because you don't have... there's no hydrotherapy pool.
No.
Which I like a hydrotherapy pool.
No, it's steam and sauna and stuff like that.
Yeah, I like a hydrotherapy pool.
Those rock seats that you're not as big a fan of.
I can sit on them for 10 minutes and that's it.
Yeah.
They're not very comfortable for me.
We've talked about these sort of things before. We talked about on recent podcasts. But the spa specials are on there pretty much in any port. And it is just, if you are going to go in there, ask them up front before you book anything, are there going to be spa specials on for what I'm thinking about at any point during the cruise? Because they will tell you if you ask them, but they're not going to volunteer that information.
No.
But they won't say, no, there's not. Hearts and Minds, what do you think this is?
Is this like the wedding chapel?
It is.
Oh.
It seems a little bit more like a sort of conferencey room, but
It
it's
does,
not.
it does
It's
feel-
not dressed for it at this point. But they also use it for a lot of the group meetings as well,
Okay.
like Friends of Bill W and stuff
Okay,
like
right.
that. So if you do see that it's at the Hearts and Minds Centre,
That's where it is.
it's here on deck 16,
Yeah.
right next to the spa.
Where we're going now.
We're going back through the edge of the spa. That's
Okay.
it. Special offers on there. Any of those take your fancy then?
Oh, all of them right now I could do.
You fancy a little sort of neck massage.
Oh,
Well, you were out there last night, weren't you?
yes.
I were a good boy. I came and picked you up afterwards. So, feeling slightly delicate as you're recording.
Yes.
Anyway, back on the outside of it. So gorgeous. Mm-hmm. There were a lot of ships in as well when we got there.
There were so many ships in.
I was surprised. I mean, again, this might be a little bit of our ignorance as to how busy some of the ports were, especially in the smaller towns.
Yes.
Because it wasn't just this one. When we got to Skagway, I think there were 5 ships in that day as well. And there were 5 in. And when we're talking about ships, there were big ones. We got with that edge at the side of us there.
Yes.
Then we had another of the Solstice classes. The one that you could see as we walked around here were one of the Seaborns.
And the Carnival ship.
We had Carnival in as well. So and they'd all got in before us that day.
Yeah.
I think we were the last of them to arrive.
Yeah.
So when we got off the ship,
And there were an NCL ship as well.
there was an NCL ship as well. When we got off the ship, the town were absolutely packed, weren't they? Mm-hmm. But when we looked over a little bit later on, as they started to sort of set off one after another, the town just went quieter and quieter and quieter to where the point where we were leaving, it was so quiet. Mm-hmm. But gorgeous little place. Again, another lovely little spot to just go chill. On the left-hand side where I'm walking past, that's the view that you have if you're on things like the treadmills in the gym.
Yeah, okay, I understand.
So, nice little spot.
And we think we stood here. We didn't go as far down the front, did we?
When? Oh,
Sorry.
excuse you.
When we did cruising into Endicott Arm, we stood here.
We stood literally about where we are now, didn't we?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We stood here.
We were up a little bit further to start with because they did the cocktails first thing in the morning. They had a Bloody Mary station.
Yeah, and Mimosa station.
Yeah. You had one of those Bloody Mary ones. What did you think?
It was a tequila one. It was very spicy. It was...
Oh, it was very tequila forward. I remember you passing me a chest. I'd forgot now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite a strong one.
It was a very strong one.
They also had mulled wine type ones and alcoholic hot chocolates, which I had.
Nice.
I had a rum hot chocolate, which
I didn't
was very
remember
nice.
the mulled wine one.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I'd have tried it.
But you did try the mimosa.
I did try the mermaid mimosa. I prefer a regular mimosa, I've got to admit.
You do?
Yeah.
But nice for going and looking at glaciers and seals.
Yeah, it was nice.
Back to that middle pool.
Which I would say is the main pool, because we've got the hot tubs, you've got the little food outlets, you've got the bars.
You got the screens. Mm-hmm. It's definitely the pool where, well, on our one, because of the other one being closed, everyone were hanging around at when we were in port.
Yeah.
But even then, and I don't know if I catch it when I go around the other side, they were still working and repairing on this when we were in port this day.
Yeah.
So maybe it just had sort of a little bit of battering with some bad weather for on the previous cruise.
Maybe.
We've got the Slice Pizzeria.
I didn't like the slice here.
One great way.
Didn't like it.
Now, I mean, we'll cover that on our
Food review
when we do that. Which, depending when you're watching this, it might be already there. Mm-hmm. At the time we're recording it, it's not, because we haven't done it. But we were disappointed. We got on this ship thinking it had an Alfredo's.
Yeah.
But again, our fault, because we didn't actually check that this ship didn't.
Never assumed, it never ever occurred to me that there would not be an Alfredo's on this ship. Just didn't dawn on me for 1 second.
Alfredo's should be on every ship.
It should be on every ship.
Not just Princess. They're absolutely our favourite pizzas, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, we've got a screen here.
No, we said that wrong actually.
No, you said it wrong.
I said it wrong, yeah. Because the screen's in this one. So this would be the normal main pool.
I don't
Where you've got the movie Under the Stars.
Yeah, I would say the other pool is the main pool.
They're very similar, aren't they?
Yeah. And I was surprised that there was no, again, it never dawned on me that there wasn't a covered pool. Because for some reason, I took it, because we were going to Alaska, on a little ship, there would be a covered pool.
Yeah, not on this particular one.
No.
There are on one of the other of this class, but not obviously on Ruby.
No.
Well, just while we're getting ready to walk into the buffet, would you like to take a second to invite people to subscribe, Linz?
I would love to invite you to subscribe. Thank you as always if you already have done. And we're heading to 10,000 subscribers. So
Yeah,
we're getting very excited.
I'm getting very excited about that. By the time this video is out, we'll be somewhere very close to it.
Very close.
Oh, we're about 100 away at the time of recording. So, yes, thank you if you have already subscribed, and thank you if you're going to subscribe now. You can also follow along on all of the regular social media, including Instagram, TikTok, and our own Facebook group.
Yes.
Back on to walking through. What did you think about the buffet? That's a non-committal noise.
It were an old school buffet, wasn't it? As you can see, it's where the stations are mirrored.
Yes, it's same on opposite side.
There's not. No, oh, hello. there's not like dedicated stations like on the celebrity ship that we just saw there. I know I could have gone on that ship and found myself the nacho station.
Yeah, it changes every time.
Yeah. And there's not seems to be that apart from chips.
Yeah, the
fries.
chips and burgers at lunchtime were pretty much
they were a
constant
staple.
in the same place.
They were a staple, definitely.
Obviously we'll have covered this on the food and video. The food review at some point, but there didn't feel like there were a huge amount of options.
A lot of choice, no.
In there, having said that, we did eat in there a couple of times
For lunch,
and we had breakfast in there on one occasion as well.
Yeah.
And like all buffets and that sort, if it's on a day where you're just about to go into port, they tend to be quite busy just before they go in. If you're not in port, then they tend to be busy then and at lunchtime.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're in port, as we just saw then, this is lunchtime when I were doing this.
Yeah.
And it were very quiet. The wake pool. I love this spot here. We never actually went for a swim in this one.
I never tested the water, but we did like the hot tub here.
We did the hot tub above it.
Yes.
On deck 17.
I really enjoyed the wake views actually on this cruise. They were gorgeous.
They're absolutely stunning. I mean, right at the start of the video, you could see it on the intro as you pass. I think this tiered deck at the back, which reminded me a little bit of Queen Mary 2.
Yeah.
It's not quite as stacked as that, but it had that essence of it.
Yeah.
I think it's just a gorgeous pool. I do love a wake pool.
Yeah. We do, but we didn't go in it.
No, but we loved looking at it.
We did. It's nice to look at.
I mean, you're going to see the hot tub at some point anyway, because I'm heading up towards there right now.
Yeah, and there was a decent-sized hot tub. Was there anybody in it when you were there? Didn't filmed?
Yeah, I think there were. I think there were a lady just getting out of it.
Little fountain. Oh, so we're now by Adagio, is it?
Adagio, and where you're looking there is Sabatini's.
Yes.
I have to say that Sabatini's is my favourite Sabatini's we've been to on any princess ship.
Really?
Yeah, I love the design of it.
Yeah.
It felt, when we went in there, it felt like a proper date night.
Yeah, I guess so.
But also the views that it's got at the back.
Yes.
Because Sabatini's on, for instance, some princess is tucked away inside. It has no views.
No.
And it just felt like a really speciality restaurant.
It did. You're right. It did. I really enjoyed it, and they were very generous tables, even for twos.
Yeah, we had a huge table.
That's the thing at Sabatini's. You get so much food, and you don't want it stacked on top of you. And I feel that it was like you say, a really nice experience.
Great date night one. This is that hot tub that you were just talking about.
I like this hot tub.
So I can't remember if there's a lady here. I'm sure I remember talking to a lady when she was just getting out of it. Cause if she is there, she was saying that it's so nice to have it to herself. Just a lovely area. That space there is the outside space for one of the kids clubs.
I gathered, yeah.
Weird little pool out. We never got in it. I mean, there's there is a lady there.
No, she is.
It's just a round, very deep pool.
Yeah.
Which seemed weird.
Which we didn't check the water again. I feel we've let people down not checking the water.
We checked that water.
That water was lovely.
Really
was so
nice, wasn't
lovely.
it? And that's me being a bit slow there because the lady was just saying how much she loves this hot tub. So we're talking as I'm sort of filming. So it wasn't that I've suddenly got stuck.
No. Or glitching.
It was very sticky. I couldn't move at that point.
Oh dear.
No, we loved it there. I mean, you can see from that hot tub the view that you've got.
Yeah.
And we did a sail away from there, didn't we? As well as sort of when we were out sort of at sea.
Yeah.
Just great view. These little deck sun chairs down, nearly said deck chairs then. Little sun chairs.
Lounges.
Yeah, just, again, nice little spot at the back. So if you're looking for somewhere to come and relax, these ones are really nice. Yeah. You mentioned Adagio earlier.
Mm-hmm. And now we're going through?
We are. What's Adagio?
A musical style.
I meant here. You are correct. It is a musical style.
It's a bar.
It's a bar that has music in it as well.
Good grief.
It acts very much as a sort of a pre and post dinner bar for Sabatinis.
Yeah, it doesn't get crazy busy.
Because we came in here one night when we weren't in Sabatinis. Yeah. In between kind of what you think of the sitting areas.
It was Skagway Day.
Late in the evening.
Yeah, and we cruised it, and that was just stunning. Really was.
Oh, gorgeous, wasn't it? But a very quiet bar again, wasn't it? There weren't many people in there.
No.
Now, just before people go into Sabatini's and straight after, people tended to
they
go
had
in there for a drink.
There, yeah. And then, like you say, it serviced the restaurant. But yeah, this Sabatini's is lovely. I really enjoyed it here.
It is, and unfortunately, on this particular tour, that's as much as you're going to see of it, because they lock it up when
because it's that fancy. Wow.
It's that fancy, you can't get into it.
Yeah.
But the menu for Sabatini's is very similar to what you get at any other Sabatini's. It was just, it had a couple of bits that were unique in there for the Alaska side, but it just a really, really lovely spot, which, because you're not walking past it a lot.
No.
And there's a trend there, it's the same for deck 18 with Skywalkers, it's the same for deck 19 with the pool. When you're up on those higher decks at the far extremes of the ship, they're just very quiet. Yeah. People are not going through there.
They tend to gravitate to the atrium.
It is. We're going to go back through Adagio now to sort of head back down and go through and eventually a little bit further down into the ship. Yeah. But I did like it in here.
It's nice, yeah. Again, we saw some great views and a nice drink.
We sat there, didn't we?
Yeah, and you could go out of this store to take some beautiful pictures as we cruised out.
I think when we were having drinks, you popped out there one.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. The sunsets and sunrises, you're just not prepared for in Alaska. I was stunning, absolutely stunning.
You found them very emotional, didn't you?
I just.
No, that's not a bad thing.
No, it was like a fire in the sky. It was stunning. When you could, if it wasn't overcast.
If it wasn't raining.
It was lovely. And I didn't prepare myself for that. I didn't think I was going to get that.
Yeah. Now, I would have normally walked through that side on the ship tour to show you the other side of it, but as was often the case, they'll close one side of the buffet off when they're getting it ready for the next one. Yeah. So unfortunately, I can't see both sides. So you'll have to take my word for it that they're pretty much exactly the same. Yeah. So, but I have now come back in to walk round the other way. Yeah. So we are now going down the opposite side, but I just couldn't come all the way from the back. Yeah. And again, as you see, pretty much exactly the same. It's just a mirror of the other side. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was like you say, it's that old school kind of buffet where you get your own things. There's hand washing station. There's some Purell when you get in there. Yeah. Yeah, it was nice.
It's a buffet, isn't it?
Yeah, in that sense, it is definitely.
I have to say, I think I'm sort of swaying much more towards that eatery, galley, those
style,
those sort of served buffet areas.
When items are made fresh for you as well, that you can order like special items.
Yeah, and also where you've got stations that are pretty much open nearly all the time. Yeah. As opposed to when you get that midway bit between when it's going from like breakfast to lunch or lunch to dinner,
yeah, which are always...
you often find that there's just nothing.
No.
And so if you've been out for an excursion and you've not got a late
An
meal
early
booked,
morning,
or it's an early morning one, then you can have very, very limited choice then. Whereas those galley style, like they've got on Sun Princess, or Gallery on Virgin or Eatery on Sun Princess, just seem to fit better. And there's a lot less waste as well.
Yeah, of course.
But I know some people love a buffet.
Oh yeah, they do. They do.
When we sort of ate in the buffet, I think on certainly one, if not more, of the occasions, we brought the food and brought it down to these tables in here.
Yes.
Because the buffet was often very, very busy. But as you saw going down the edge there,
They had some tables that were quiet.
there's tables all the way down.
Yeah.
And they were always, well, all the time that we wanted, quite repairing tiles again.
Yeah.
So, which, nice that they're making
Now
sure it stays lovely.
they do nachos, and I'm probably going to talk about this in the food review as well. But they do nachos on a couple of days in for lunch. But
In the buffet.
The buffet, but the cheese was great cheese.
Yeah.
Now, if I'd have been smart, I would have gone and got my nachos and then queued up at the Salty Dog grill
And got a
there
tub of cheese.
and asked them to put on some of the cheese sauce that comes.
Which they would have happily done for you, I'm positive.
I think that might be a thing, and if you do manage to do that, please tell me, because
Send Lindsay a picture of the cheesy nachos.
Because I feel cheated, basically, that I didn't get to do it.
Salty Dog Grill.
Yes, that's where you're getting your cheese sauce from.
Yeah, a nice place to get a lunch. The burgers, the tacos. You had the loaded fries from there. All tasty enough. I got the chicken burger one day.
Yeah.
And it was the smallest piece of chicken I've ever seen on a burger.
Yeah. Well, we were eating those things because we ate them, and then if you remember, we took them down to the balcony, and we had a margarita, and I had my loaded fries, and as I sat there enjoying my cheesy chips, whales came up right in front of us.
Yeah, we lost interest in
cheesy
the food
chips.
really quickly. I mentioned earlier when I was referring to your ship tips.
Yeah.
We talk about that area on the bridge bit. This is that area.
Yes.
And again, closed off, even at this point when we're in port.
Yeah.
So it is very limited access that you can get out there. I thought when I went into it on that day with it being in port, it might have been open.
Yeah.
Nope, not open then either.
No.
Right, so we're down a little bit lower now.
We're inside.
We're back inside. And we're on deck 7, the promenade deck. So it does have a promenade that goes virtually all the way around. It doesn't quite go all the way because you've got to sort of go up some stairs and through some areas that are sometimes closed. But it's a nice promenade deck.
Yeah, it's nice, yeah.
Wheelhouse bar.
Wheelhouse bar.
What else is in here? Can you remember? You will do in a second.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
They did a lot of quizzes in here as well.
I remember, yes. Yeah.
Salty Dog restaurant. Yeah. We won't spoil the review.
I think we might have done just then.
What, just by going, ugh.
It wasn't the best. We will talk about it in the review.
Yeah, in a lot of detail.
Yes.
But yeah, it's in. If you're looking for the Salty Dog Gastropub, it's in the Wheelhouse Bar.
Yeah.
But that's also where they did, I say, the quizzes, but a lot of enrichment talks as well.
Yes, they did.
Were done in there, as opposed to when it were sort of ones where they were obviously not expecting quite as big a crowd, rather than doing it in the big theatre and it being 3/4 empty. They did it in there and it looked packed.
But the jewellery one was very busy when we saw that.
Oh,
not that we attended, we just wanted to
it
go
was
for a
packed,
quiz.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
They were doing a raffle in there for us one.
Yeah.
This is, without any question, the busiest excursion tour desk I've ever seen on a ship.
Oh my goodness, it was crazy.
I mean, people do go to Alaska to do excursions that you obviously can't do anywhere else.
Exactly, and also excursions changed as well due to weather, so then they had to redo them.
Pretty much every port that we went to, because when we got to Juneau it were raining quite a lot and they'd cancelled helicopter flights up to the glaciers.
Yeah.
So people were going there to change those. When we went into any of the other ports, the library, when we went into any of the other ports, there were people going there and changing at last minute.
Yeah.
But also booking last minute ones.
Yeah. Now the library, we sat in here by the window a few times and played chess. It was fabulous.
We did.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry.
we'd not played chess for a long time before then.
We
It was
do.
a little spot to go play.
You know
it in.
what? I think we should get a new chess set.
Should we get one exactly the same as that we got?
No, I want like a nice.
You don't want it with plastic bits. We had to go through a couple of the chess
And
boards
make a chess set.
to have a complete chess set.
Yeah.
But it worked for us, and we liked it.
Mhm.
The shops on Princess are pretty much the same as you get on most shops these days.
Yes.
So you got your perfumes.
I liked that they had a toiletry / little mini pharmacy shelves, unlike on some Princess where everything's hidden away, because then you can if you need anything like that, you can see it to hand and not have to explain what you want to the person behind the counter.
Yeah.
To be told no.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah.
The little plaques that we just walked past on the right,
Yeah.
which are where it gets one the first time it goes into a port on those, they helped us get a quiz question right.
Did they?
Yeah. Because it was, when did it first sail?
Oh,
and
yes.
I'd seen it on there just before it.
No,
so,
that helped.
And
they did the quizzes in here as well in an afternoon, didn't they?
Yeah, we did a couple in here, didn't we?
Yeah.
So I can't remember what it's called. They were one of the quizzes that were in here every day, and then the other one tended to be in the other one, didn't it?
In the
rotated it behind them. But this entertainment bar, every night as we walked past it, there were live music playing in there. I don't remember ever walking past it in an evening and they want a band on.
No, it was nice.
But they also had like comedians on in here and did some game shows as well.
Yes, they did. It was kind of like the Princess Live without being Princess Live.
Yeah, because it's called Explorers, as I thankfully showed myself there.
Yeah.
And I wonder why they'd never rebranded it Princess Live that they have done on pretty much every other ship.
Well, that we've been on, yeah.
If you do know, tell us in the comments.
Now, this is another thing, is the age of the ship, because they also put the photos out here, old style, where they print them and put them on rather than screens.
Yeah, where it looks like these panels are, they open them up fully.
Yeah.
And you've got loads of photos. It's the biggest photo area I've seen on a ship in a long
Crown
time.
Grill.
Crown Grill, nicely sort of tucked away in there, had, because it's on the Alaska one, special dishes that they only do when they go to Alaska.
Yes.
Including, unsurprisingly, salmon.
Yeah.
But
which was the best salmon?
Yeah, because I had it in there. I think it's the first time I've been to a steakhouse and not had steak.
It was very
anywhere on a ship.
Yeah.
Or on land. I don't ever remember not having it.
And it was themed around London, was this restaurant, and we'd never noticed before that the restaurant is themed around a city.
Yeah, every Princess Crown Grill is themed on a different global city. And we've been in this was our 4th Crown Grill.
Yeah.
And we had never noticed.
No.
We only noticed because you were like, why is everything around London on here?
Yeah, I was like, wow, this is weird.
So as I'm walking out of here, there's the lady who's sort of just getting the desk ready and stuff at the front. So I just asked her, and she's like, yeah, they're different on every ship.
Oh.
I'm not sure how I've never noticed that.
No.
So we've done multiple specialty dining reviews of Crown Grill, which you better see on the channel, and you better see it's on there, and we've just never
Maybe
been
it's just because
aware.
it was a city we kind of recognised.
Yeah.
We didn't think it was just themed with just nice pictures of somewhere.
Now, they also did in here the Crab Shack.
Yes.
So, am I right in saying that's exclusive to when they do Alaska?
Yes.
They did it on 2 separate days, if I recall. Mm-hmm. 2 of the sea days.
Yeah.
And it's a paid for extra. Can you remember how much it was?
I want to say $45. Is that right? Per person, $45. We'll have to double check for the formal review.
Might have been $39.99. We'll have it correct in the food review.
Yeah.
But it was lovely, wasn't it?
I think I'm remembering it better than it was actually. I like the potatoes.
You think I'm remembering it better?
It was it was all right.
Yeah, it wasn't as sort of Crown Grilly service.
No,
because it's at lunch and it's a seafood thing.
And we just
you're in and out.
You were in and out, and we got the buckets. Yeah, I liked the potatoes.
It's definitely like the potato. It's definitely worth you going to.
Yeah.
if you want to try out those sort of things, and you're on an Alaska cruise because you're not going to be able to try it anywhere else. Then we're in the lounge at the back of, or is it front of the ship? I've turned myself around in my own head there.
Oh dear.
And we saw.
Oh, this is the back of the ship.
We saw the comedian. Yeah, it is, because it's theatre at the opposite end, isn't it? We saw comedians in here.
Yes.
And live music again. Much bigger spot. And when there's a comedian on, they put tables and chairs all the way down here as well. Don't know where they were stored, because there were a lot more than just those ones there, because we sat.
No, I think that's exactly how it was.
I remember there being more.
No.
Mate, I will take your word for it until I see video.
Yeah.
At some point, I'm sure I'll remind myself. I'm not entirely sure why it had this North to Alaska thing set up like you were a school.
No.
But it did have it set up. And
Yeah.
it had some interesting things if you wanted to learn it.
Yeah.
But it just reminded me of like being at a school fair.
Yeah, it does kind of have that
Vibe to it.
Yeah.
It would just seem randomly set up in a bar and entertainment area. Not entirely sure why they've done it that way.
No.
Anyway, carrying on and outwards. Just going to have a quick drink.
Oh, we're going outside.
We are onto the promenade.
Okay, let's have a look. And then we're going all the way round.
Well, you can't go all the way around, as I mentioned, because...
Oh, no, I mean, like...
I walked down a little bit just so you can see it.
Oh, you're not going back in where the atrium is, then?
No, not from that angle, I'm not. I'm coming down here and then in a little bit.
It looks nice.
It's really nice. It's obviously not as wide as, for instance, QM2's promenade deck, and therefore you don't have the big chairs out there.
No.
To that extent, you've just got sort of normal little, sort of slightly reclining chairs. And again, I think probably because of the weather, we never saw it that busy.
No.
Now, it may have been really busy when we went into Endicott Arm and the glacier.
Yeah, it could have been, yeah.
But we were
up on
6 decks above it, 7 decks above. So I honestly can't say. But it's another great place for spotting.
Yeah.
If you think about when we sort of cruised into Endicott and we were looking at all the seals on the icebergs, you're so much closer to the water there.
Yes, you are.
That it might actually be a really nice wildlife spot
area.
from there.
Yeah.
Because we do know that people, when they thought they saw whales or saw whales, were running to this area from inside. Not that you encourage people to do that.
Goodness.
I'm going to come back inside. If you look just closely down to the end, you'll see that it was a dead end.
Okay.
Because you can go up, and at certain times it's open for you to better do that.
Yeah.
Other times it's not. And then we're sort of back inside again now. Right, just while we sort of get ready to loop down and round.
Yeah. Here we go.
And back towards the sort of main atrium.
Now, what I found weird, they set that up for photos in an evening there.
Yeah, they did.
And put a screen up so you didn't
So you didn't get that view.
Yeah. Now, I wonder if it's because of the lighting. It obviously doesn't photo well.
Yeah, 'cause it's a shame not to have that gorgeous
backdrop
atrium view, isn't it? Yeah, I'd not thought about that until you just said there.
Yeah, I found it quite weird.
So we're still on deck 7, and we've got the Crooner's Bar.
Yes, we love Crooner's Bar.
Really popular though.
Yeah, really popular, but we really loved it here. The cocktails were really good. We like good spirits, but getting into good spirits was harder because it's only small, than we thought it would be. But Crooners, we love Crooners. We could, watch what's going on in the atrium, listen to what's going on, and then they'd swap out them for put somebody on the piano or on the guitar when there wasn't any activity.
And they had some great musicians on there, because one of them, Kevin.
Yes.
He was also performing in the main theatre.
Yeah.
And then coming into there, and he were fantastic.
Yes.
So it were always a really popular spot. They also did some fantastic cocktails in there that you could only get in there.
Yeah.
And the servers in there and the bar staff were absolutely fantastic.
They were really good.
If you go in there on even a semi-regular basis, they will remember your drinks.
Yes.
Very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Guest services. So we've just come down one of the atrium bits. And you've got Gatsby's Casino, which I'm going to go into in a little second.
Yeah.
And Churchill's Arcade at the side of it.
I'm very disappointed with this arcade.
Why?
Because they didn't have my ski ball.
No skeet ball?
Is that what it's called?
Skeet, S-K-E.
Either way, you roll the balls, they go in the holes. I really like it.
There's no ball rolling in this arcade.
No, I like that. That's my favourite thing. I like it.
Do you recall on any other ship the arcade being right at the side of a casino?
No, it's normally in like
it's normally like tucked away near a kids' club somewhere.
Yes. Yeah.
I know on Virgin they've got like their 80s themed arcade near one of the bars.
Yeah.
But it's not near a casino.
No.
I just don't recall it being... It didn't feel out of place. I just don't remember there being another one.
I need to get the ski ball thing, whatever it's called, with the balls. I like that.
But you want one where you could win tickets, and those ones tend to be...
I don't need the glory of the tickets.
You just want the glory of the score.
I just want to know I've done a good job.
And that is one of your true life skills, that game.
It's the only one
I don't think I've ever beaten you at that.
No.
Ever.
No. Or chess.
No. We just walked past it, but just for people who are interested in those things, there are ATMs on board as well.
Yeah.
So if you're wanting some money to sort of reward your cabin steward or any of the other staff towards the end of the holiday and you forgot, you can get down there. Princess Theatre, as I came to it then, was closed. It was closed off a lot during the day.
Yes.
Because a lot of theatres on other ships you can go into even when it's shut, and they'll show movies on them and stuff like that, but you can just get into them. This one were locked more than it were open. So I did film this at a later stage.
Yeah.
So at the point that we were in the ship on doing this one, there wasn't actually anyone in there.
No.
Nice theatre.
Yeah.
Not
Old
really
style.
anything else to say about it at this point.
That kind of, you know.
You do have reserved seating if you're in Princess Premier. You can get drinks in there. One of the bits I did actually like, I don't think we touched on this on anything else we've talked about up to now.
Was the little cocktail tables.
Yeah, that come out of your armchair like you're on a plane.
Yeah, they do.
And there were ladies sat next to us, and then we did it. All equally surprised when we realised that they were there.
Yeah.
And they fold over into your lap.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they do encourage you to have a little drink in there. I think it's a nice size casino for the size of the ship. I don't think we had a gamble at all on this one, did we?
We didn't play at all.
Obviously, nothing called to us to lose money on this time.
No, which is...
staff all having their training as well while we were off.
Yeah.
But no, we just never got... It wasn't that we never got a chance. I just don't think we were bothered on this particular one.
I don't know what we were. It's not that type of cruise. I don't think.
No,
it was busy, but
it was. Yeah, I don't think an Alaska cruise, as you say, especially where you've got 3 port days, plus
Don
the
Julio.
arms. Oh, lovely. I don't think it lends itself well to a nighttime activity thing. And there were very little going on the ship after sort of 11, 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Apart from you go up to Skywalkers.
Yes, I guess so.
It was just kind of finished, wasn't it?
Yeah, because people were just absolutely exhausted.
Well, we had one of the days we were into the port very early.
Yeah.
But also people wanted to get up and see it and see what's going on onto there.
Yeah.
That was one of the entrances that we just saw there into, is it Botticelli?
Yes.
The dining room.
That was for the club class, though, or reserve class.
Reserve collection.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
I want to call it reserve. It was called club class. You want to call it reserve class, but now it's reserve collection.
Yeah.
You can see the other sort of side of this as well now.
Yeah.
What do you think to main dining room in terms of its layout, not food?
I thought it was great because they had the traditional Baked Alaska parade.
They did, and it's a while since we've seen one of them.
Yeah, because normally we've seen one, but never in Alaska. It felt better.
Yeah, and each of the main dining rooms is standalone, so it's not like on some of the newer ships or some of the bigger ships where you can see through them all.
Yeah.
They were all standalone ones. But I liked it. It was nice and airy. We were sat near, in the reserve collection, we were sat near the window each time. So it was lovely where we were over there. I really liked it.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I did too. And of course, they're all the decks are called. They've got a name rather than they've got a number,
They have, yes.
which confuses me.
And there's that nice big space there in the middle, and people go, "Oh, what's that between them?"
And that's the galley.
It's the galley area.
Yeah,
So we cover that in one of your ship tips.
Yeah.
As to how to navigate there better.
Mm-hmm.
And more shops.
yeah, yeah. And there were nice shops. They didn't have one of my books, my little notebooks.
They didn't.
So I'm getting low on my notebook, and I need to find another one.
And no princess one.
No princess one.
No.
Normally I go and get one, and then when we go on a cruise, it then takes me through to my next one.
Yeah, not this time.
No.
Guest services on the left.
Mm-hmm.
All the usual stuff that you want to do at guest services.
Yeah.
Always busy on the last night.
Mm-hmm.
But because you can check your folio at any time via the app, I don't think they have as many queries. We had to go down once because they charged us twice for an excursion.
Yeah, they did.
And then took it off and then put it back on again.
Yeah.
But they did correct it as soon as they were aware of it.
Yeah.
Now, this is Good Spirits.
Very
that's
small.
right at the side of International Cafe.
Very small.
We never got a chance to go for a drink in there because it only had 2 show times, didn't it, where they'd do the Good Spirits cocktails.
Yeah.
Because when the Good Spirits team weren't in there, you couldn't get those cocktails.
No.
They'd only go back to the normal bar menu. And it were rammed in there every single time. And what do you reckon's in there? 15 tables?
Yeah, there's not many at all.
It's the smallest Good Spirits we've seen on any ship.
And we totally missed it. We just didn't happen
Didn't get a chance to go. The International Cafe and the coffee shop next to it, also very popular.
Mm-hmm.
But no problem getting served in there because you get it and
No.
get to take it away as well. Walking through the art gallery.
Yes.
I think, is it Park West on here?
I think it might be.
Which, they do class it as an art gallery, so you can go walk through it and look at it. Obviously, they're selling everything.
Yes.
But if you're an art lover and you want to go have a good look,
Mm-hmm.
it's nice to have that sort of walk around one. I'd forgot that they had it on here 'cause they had it on Ventura like this.
Yeah.
At least when we went on. And it's a nice little sort of wander around if you're interested in art.
Yeah.
And we were talking to the art gallery. I think she was the director one. I think that's the correct art because she'd just got on and she was from the UK as well.
She was called Hannah, I think.
Was she called Hannah? And she was excited to hear a British accent.
Yeah, she was.
When on this particular cruise, and they read the numbers out in one of the evenings when we went into the theatre, I think it was like over about a third were American,
Yeah.
over a third were Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
There were weirdly like 250 people on from Australia.
Weirdly.
Yeah, so it wouldn't have been one that went in my head
Okay.
that there would have been that many people
Yeah.
from Australia on set.
No.
Canada and US,
Yeah.
I would have expected it. UK didn't even get a mention. There were that few of us on there. I think we saw like maybe 2 or 3 other couples while we were on there that we heard the accents and noticed it.
Yeah.
But it's a long way to go
It is a long way to
for a
go.
week cruise. It's a long old trek.
Yeah, and it's
It is Park West.
taken me days and days to get over the jet lag
Yeah.
and the flight back.
Vines.
Vines. We never ate tea. We were going to do.
No, because Vines is along with Salty Dog Gastropub.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of their other casual dining ones where if you don't have the Princess Plus or Princess Premier, you have to pay $14.99 to eat in there.
Yeah.
But it was more like charcuterie type things that you'd have with a glass of wine.
Yeah.
So we can't comment as to how good it was because we never got a chance to eat in there. Having said, we did technically eat in there because on the first day when we got on, we grabbed a sandwich from
International Cafe.
International Cafe and sat in there because it was absolutely rammed because we were on there before we could get in. Just another little sort of entertainment area that they use for various events at the side of it. We've just come past the Future Cruise bookings and still a big internet cafe area.
Yeah.
Now, if you did want to print off your boarding cards, you could do it from there as well.
Yes.
Which, useful to do. And look, I found
found
our
a duck.
first ever cruise duck, which is sat at the side of us as we're speaking now. That's the first time we've ever found. We've hidden them.
Yeah.
I would genuinely, you can't hear it because obviously it's muted because we're talking. I'm like, woohoo! I'm properly excited that I found a cruising duck.
Yeah.
So thank you for who left that.
Yes.
It's got pride of place at the side of us at the moment. And then we're just sort of heading round towards the end of the ship tour now. Not quite there yet, but virtually. Just the other side of the main piazza.
Yes.
I always want to call it the atrium, but it is piazza,
Piazza,
isn't it?
I think so, yeah. As an Italian kind of thing. Oh, lady.
Just sort of wander around there a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
When the gangways are in place on the particular sort of ports, you can't get through there because that's where the security is. So just as I'm coming back out again, that's where the Deck 5 gangway was when we were in Ketchikan.
Yeah.
And this is just one of the other sort of dining rooms, as you could see, very similar to Botticelli that I showed earlier on. And when those ones are in there, normally you can walk through there. It's continuation back into the atrium.
Yeah.
Just happens when I was doing this, you couldn't do it.
No. And there we are, gangway this way.
And then back into the piazza. Again, always live music in there in an evening.
Yes.
And when we got on board as well.
Yeah.
It were in. And as I say, you can see good space there. Look how tiny it is. Yeah, there's
It's
nowhere
so
near
small.
as many tables as I said earlier.
No.
Yeah, it probably holds 20 people in there.
Yeah, it's not many.
Just
Not
absolutely tiny.
I like a good space.
But that brings us to the sort of pretty much end of the ship tour, Lens.
Oh, thank you, darling. Cheers.
Cheers, Lens.
Oh, thank you for watching and have a lovely day.
And a big thank you to our Sweet Natured channel members. Thank you for supporting the channel.
Thank you.